Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna talk about Hollywood, Florida. We're gonna go over the pros and cons, geographics, businesses, and more importantly, we're gonna check out some properties. As you guys already know, my name is Michael Valencia. I'm a top producer and realtor with La Macchia Realty, one of the best realtors in the state of Florida, and this is living in South Florida. Little fun fact, when I first moved to South Florida, this is actually one of the places where we considered moving to. We were looking up and down for homes here in Hollywood, and we just couldn't find anything that was in our price point. We also didn't really have, helpful real estate agents, anything like that, which is the reason why I decided to become one, to be able to give the service that we never received ourselves. As of the 2020 census, Hollywood, Florida has over 153,000 people, making it the third largest city in Broward County, the fifth in the Miami metro area, and the 12th largest city in the state of Florida. Hollywood, Florida was incorporated in November 1925. So right now it is December 2023. We are less than 2 years away from Hollywood, Florida being around or being incorporated for 100 years. That is the reason why I wanted to come out and make this video for you guys today, because I have a lot of clients that always want to know more about Hollywood and they've never been here. So for you guys, I wanted to show you what it's like to live here. Right now I'm in TY Park. It's an amazing park where they have beaches. They have running trails, as you can see behind me. There's a water park, there's boat rentals, basketball courts, tennis courts, playground for the kids. So much to do right here in TY Park. And Hollywood is home to more than 60 parks, 7 golf courses, 7 miles of pristine beaches, and a one-of-a-kind Hollywood Beach boardwalk that is nearly 2.5 miles along the Atlantic Ocean. So Hollywood currently has 1,182 homes actively for sale, and they range anywhere from $100,000 condo in a 55+ community all the way up to a $9 million property that's on the water with no restrictions to the ocean. So today we're gonna be checking out one of those condos. I'm gonna go into the community so you can see what a 55+ community condo looks like. Anybody who's curious, or you may have some family members, anything like that. And we're gonna be checking out a townhouse, a single family house, and $1 million property, just like we've been doing in the last few videos. So you guys already know, if you get any value from this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, and share this video with anybody you think might be helpful. All of my information is going to be in the description below. And if you are just curious and you want to know if maybe South Florida would be a good fit for you or your friends or your family, please don't feel free to reach out. I love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from some people that have already reached out and they're going to be getting ready to close on their homes soon. Plus a few others that I've already been able to guide and find them rental homes as well. So here we go, some natural life here on the park. All right, stay tuned. We're gonna go check out the first property. I'll see you there. Bye. All right, we made it to our very first community. So right now we're going to be looking at a 55+ community located in the Beverly Hills condominiums in Hollywood, Florida. It is in the most southwest part of Hollywood, and it is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 968 square foot condo for $180,000. The association is $536 per month, and the taxes are $2,661 per year. So the insurance premium of something like this is probably gonna cost you around $1,200 a year, because most of these HOAs will tend to cover the outside insurance, right? So they'll have a master policy to cover all of the building, all the exterior. You only need to purchase insurance to cover the inside, your personal belongings, and of course the interior walls and appliances, stuff like that. This community has pools like you see behind me. They have a gym, they have library, they have events. Beverly Hills condominiums, 55+, built in 1969, over 1,182 homes for sale right here. From here, we're gonna be going to check out a townhouse. We're gonna be looking at a single family house, and then we're gonna be checking out a $1 million property at the very end, like we've been doing. Some of the pros of living in a community like this is you're gonna be in a closed gated community. You don't have to worry about any strangers coming in that they don't have access to. This is 55 plus community. You are going to have an elevator as you see behind me. You have the cluster mailboxes right there as well. You are going to have 1 or 2 parking spots depending on how big of a unit you purchase. They do have 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms as well. Stay tuned, I'll catch you at the next one, all right? Hey guys, welcome back. So right now I made it to the Townhouse Villas in Hollywood, Florida. We're located just 8 miles away from the Hollywood Boardwalk, the one I've been talking about. And this community has only 1 property for sale, 1 townhouse for sale. As you can see, they're 2 stories. You'll have 2 parking spots assigned in front of your property. It is for sale for $379. It is over 1,400 square feet. The HOA is $490, but it's a really small community. I can get pretty much the entire community. It's just this row, that's all it is. The amenities that includes is the pool located right here. It's not closed gated, it's open. You can literally just drive right in, but it's very quiet. You know, it's a very peaceful place to be. Like I said, you're only 8 minutes away from the beach and the Hollywood Boardwalk, so really awesome place to be. You're really close to the Young Art Circle, which is a performance center right here in Hollywood. They have movie nights, they have yoga classes outside. They also have a lot of concerts and performances there. Really cool, you gotta check it out. Another con that we need to talk about living in Hollywood is the traffic. Much like everywhere else in South Florida, I mean, you have a city that has over 150,000 residents with a lot of infrastructure that was built, you know, decades ago. You're going to run into a lot of traffic, right? Especially if you're coming to an event, either on the Hollywood Boardwalk, if you're gonna be going to the Young Art Circle or downtown Hollywood. It's a really cool area, a lot of nightlife, a lot of young professionals will actually go there. Before we had kids, we actually used to go hang out there a lot. There's plenty of things to do here. The con is you're gonna have to deal with the typical South Florida traffic. This is what you have available for $379,000 townhouse villas, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, over 1,400 square feet of living space. And from here, we're gonna go check out a single family house built in 1976. I can't wait to show it to you. Stay tuned, I'll see you there. So welcome back. Right now, we're gonna be walking down the street from property number 3. It is our first single family home of the tour. And I gotta talk about a few cons living in Hollywood, Florida, because there are just so many pros. You have the Hard Rock Casino located in Hollywood, Florida. You have over 60 parks. You have 7 golf courses. You have 2.5 miles of boardwalk, beaches, resorts all along the beach. There's just so much to do that I feel like one of the cons of living in Hollywood is just the age of the properties. A lot of these homes were built in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, right? The newest property that we're gonna see today is actually this one right here, built in 1976. This is what the street looks like. It is gonna have a dock, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, because it was incorporated almost 100 years ago, a lot of these homes are unfortunately much older. You don't find a lot of new construction. You definitely don't find a lot of new construction communities. And if you do find the newer construction, you can expect to pay a premium for it. Now, because these are older properties, you can also expect to have a higher insurance premium, which I have talked about a lot in my videos, so expect to have that as well. The house that is for sale is actually the one right there across the street. It is $614,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2 bath, built in 1976 with 1,357 square feet for $614,000. There is no HOA. We're not in an HOA area. It does not have a pool, but this one has been nicely renovated. You can see it has shingle roofs, like most of the properties here will have a shingle roof, but because you're not in an HOA, it's really up to you if you want to replace it with shingle, metal, tile, completely up to you. You want to get a new Tesla solar roof, go for it. There's gonna be no restrictions against it. So yeah, I believe that's one of the cons of being in Hollywood. You're gonna find, unfortunately, older properties. You're going to pay a higher insurance premium, and because you're so close to the water, you can expect to have stronger hurricane winds in this area. And it also depends on where you are in Hollywood. You can expect to be one of the first people to be evacuated depending on your elevation. So there's one of the other things to think about if you're planning to relocate to Hollywood, Florida. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna go check out the next one. It's gonna be the $1 million property. So I'll see you there. All right guys, so we made it to the last stop in Hollywood, Florida. And one thing I haven't talked about and I really need to talk about, probably the biggest con of this whole video, is the cost of living. Cost of living is, out of the 20th most expensive places to live in Florida, Hollywood ranks number 8. And that is because an average house rent will rent for about $2,850. The average rent for a studio apartment is close to $2,100. So the cost of living is really high. That is why we gotta make sure we cover that. I mean, I personally feel like there's a lot of pros of living in Hollywood, but there are cons that we need to talk about, and I think that's probably the most important one. For the last step of the day, we're coming up on the house. The really cool thing about this house is you're located just 3/4 of a mile down the road. So on this very same road, 3/4 of a mile from a boat ramp that has no restrictions, no ocean restrictions. So you're gonna be able to access the ocean just 3/4 of a mile down from the boat ramp. It's this house behind me. It is 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, over 2,200 square feet, and the lot is over 7,000 square foot lot, backed up to a lake that occasionally produces blue crabs, and the price is $1,195,000. Besides from being 3/4 of a mile down from a boat ramp, you're just 1 mile away from the beach. So unfortunately, you do have to travel to get to the beach, but it's a 5-minute drive, or you can ride your bike, whatever you prefer. That's what Hollywood has to offer. Thank you so much for watching the whole video. I hope you got some value out of this. Stay tuned. We're gonna talk about some more demographics. We got some landscapers coming up. I'll see you soon. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour. We got to see some properties, we got to see Hollywood. Now let's talk about some data points. On this website, Insider Monkey, they gathered information on cost of living indexes and housing rates, and they utilize sources like Best Places, PayScale, Zillow, and livingcost.com. And that's how they come up with this list. So most expensive cities to live. Number 20 is Jacksonville. If you scroll all the way down, and this is all in Florida, by the way, so we're not talking all over the country. Number 8 is Hollywood with a cost of living index of 112.9. The average house rent is $2,850 and a population of over 152. I want to say now it has been recently, oh no, it actually decreased. It was 153 and we actually had a few hundred people leave, so we're down to 152,000 residents for the city of Hollywood. Next, Yahoo Finance. The name of this article is 20 most expensive cities to live in Florida. Look at this though. This is key right here because I just mentioned something important. There's been a few headlines going around that Florida has lost some residents, but it's nothing compared to California and Texas and even New York, Chicago, and Illinois, of course. The Florida Legislature Office Economic and Demographic Research indicates a positive trajectory for the state, projecting population growth rates of 1.27% until 2030. This is nearly double the US average of 0.64%. Now, once we scroll down to number 8, it's the same as Insider Monkey, and that's how they determine the 20 most expensive cities to live in Florida. Number 8 is Hollywood. So that's why I mentioned one of the cons was definitely cost of living, as everything tends to adjust. The average rent for a condo is close to $2,100 a month. So that gets you an idea of the cost of living in Hollywood, Florida. Just remember, Hollywood is nestled between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and it is known for a beautiful stretch of beaches. It has Travel and Leisure named in one of America's top boardwalks. And the Arts Park at Young Circle is located in a 10-acre circle named after the city's founder, Joseph Young. It's located in Hollywood Boulevard in downtown Hollywood. The amphitheater features a 60 by 40 main stage and lawn seating for 2,500 guests. Some of the characteristics of the population, it's one of the most diverse areas that we have down here in South Florida. You have 30% white, 39.9%, so almost 40% Hispanic, Latino, 16.5% Black, and then the remainder is just a mix of all the different races and ethnicities. So it's a very diverse, compared to some of the areas that we checked out in South Florida, like Doral, right? It was over 80% Hispanic and Latino. Here we go down to 39.9 in Hollywood, right? So it's literally half of what Doral had. So yeah, check out that video. We'll link it above if you haven't seen that one already. So some of the Hollywood's biggest employers are mostly the hotel industry, right? You have the Hard Rock Casino. It's also one of the biggest employer. There's also a lot of aircraft mechanics that live in the Hollywood area, because you got the North Perry Airport to the west, which is a more personal airport. And then you have the Fort Lauderdale Airport directly to the north. So Hollywood is located just 19 miles north of downtown Miami. Now, it may not look far on the map, but when everybody's trying to go the same direction towards Miami, and then in the afternoon, everyone's trying to go back home the same way, traffic can be a nightmare. And there's multiple accidents on I-95. So you could have maybe an hour commute if you're planning on commuting from Hollywood Beach down to the downtown Miami, Brickell area. So be aware of that. If you're gonna be commuting with traffic or during peak hours, you could hit substantial traffic commuting to and from work. The median household income is $61,000. It's just under $62,000. So remember, we talked about Doral having a median household income of $77,000. And then Weston, the other video that we did a few weeks ago, the median household income there was $122,000. That is the reason why it's such an expensive place to live. When you have a medium household income and you have cost of living at a certain amount, it makes it an expensive place to live. So please keep that in mind. With that said, if you need any advice, if you have any questions, if you have any areas that you want me to cover and you don't want to put it on the comments, feel free to shoot me a message directly. All of my information is going to be in the description below, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.